Welcome to the Unraveling the Scriptures channel. The biblical narrative dates back to ancient times, addressing the history of Iran and its people from primordial times and even the lineages of Noah's descendants. In this video, I intend to discuss the history of Iran throughout the centuries. Many people are curious about the Iranian people and their nation, ancient Persia, also known as the Kingdom of Elam, and later as Persia, due to the Medo-Persian peoples who inhabited and still inhabit the region. Therefore, in this video, you will discover the origins, history, and much more about the ancient Kingdom of Persia, which is modern-day Iran, and also about the Prince of the Persian Kingdom. The forgotten history of Iran according to the Bible, the Prince of Persia against Israel. Iran, also known as Persia, is officially the Islamic Republic of Iran, a country located in Western Asia. Its borders include Iraq to the west, Turkey to the northwest, Azerbaijan, Armenia, and the Caspian Sea to the north, and Turkmenistan to the northeast. To the east, it borders Afghanistan, and to the southeast, Pakistan. To the south, it is bordered by the Gulf of Oman and the Persian Gulf. With a population of about 90 million people and a territorial area of approximately 1.648 million square kilometers, Iran is the 17th largest country in the world in terms of size and population. The country is divided into 5 regions and has 31 provinces. Its capital and most populous city is Tehran, with approximately 16 million inhabitants in its metropolitan area. Other important urban centers include Mashhad, Isfahan, Karaj, and Shiraz. Iran is notable for being one of the oldest civilizations in the world, dating back to the times of the Elamites in the 4th millennium BCE. The Elamites were the first to settle and inhabit the territory that corresponds to Iran today. According to the Bible and ancient Semitic and Jewish traditions, Elam was one of the sons of Shem, giving rise to the Elamite population. The Elamite tribes were all descendants of Elam, son of Shem. Therefore, the first population to settle and inhabit the territory of southern Iran, which corresponds today to the southern region of the country, was actually of Semitic origin. In addition to the ancient Elamites who inhabited this area, various tribes of Indo-Aryan origin began to emerge in the region. Over time, these tribes ended up absorbing the Elamites. Among these tribes were the Medes, Persians, Parthians, among others of Indo-Aryan origin. These peoples spoke languages of the Indo-European family, such as Old Persian and Parthian, as well as other languages within this same Indo-European linguistic family, also known as the Japhetic linguistic family, according to ancient Semitic traditions. According to these traditions, these various Aryan tribes were descendants of Japheth, belonging to the Japhetic lineage. For example, the Medes traced their origin to Madai, son of Japheth. In other words, the Medes and Persians had origins in the lineage of Japheth, although there was a certain mixture with the ancient Elamites, who were Semitic. Iran was first unified by the Medes in the 7th century BCE and reached its territorial peak in the 6th century BCE when Cyrus the Great founded the Achaemenid Empire, one of the largest empires of antiquity. Alexander the Great conquered the empire in the 4th century BCE, and it was later divided into several Hellenistic states. An Iranian rebellion established the Parthian Empire in the 3rd century BCE, succeeded in the 3rd century CE by the Sasanian Empire. Muslim Arabs conquered the region in the 7th century CE, leading to its Islamization. Iran became an important center of Islamic culture and learning, and its culture, language, and customs spread throughout the Muslim world. A series of native Iranian Muslim dynasties ruled the country until the Seljuk and Mongol conquests of the 11th to 14th centuries. In the 16th century, the Safavids re-established an Iranian state with Shia Islam as the official religion, marking the beginning of modern Iranian history. Addressing the etymology of the origin and meaning of Iran, the term Iran, meaning the land of the Aryans, has its root in Middle Persian Aran. This designation is initially found in an inscription dated from the 3rd century at Nakshi-Rostan, accompanied by the Parthian inscription using Aryan, in reference to the Iranians. Aran and Aryan are oblique plural forms of the Gentile nouns or Middle Persian, and Ari, Parthian, both originating from the Proto-Iranian language *Arya-, which denotes Aryan, that is, of the Iranians. This term is recognized as a derivative of the Proto-Indo-European language Aryo-, meaning one who mounts skillfully. According to Iranian mythology, the name is associated with Iraj, a legendary king. Historically, in antiquity, Iran was initially called Elam and later acquired the renowned term Persia by the West. This name change was mainly influenced by Greek writings and historians, who referred to the entire region as Persis in ancient Greek, meaning the land of the Persians. Persia refers to the province of Fars in southwestern Iran, also known as Pars. The Persian word or Fars is derived from the earlier form Pars, which in turn originates from Parsa in ancient Persian. The historical importance of the province led the Greeks to adopt the term Persia around 550 BCE, extending it to the entire country. This designation persisted until 1935 when Reza Pahlavi requested that the international community use the native and original name, Iran. Although Iranians had been calling their nation Iran since at least 1000 BCE, this name change occurred to align the country's name with that of its people in the eyes of the Western world. Currently, both Iran and Persia are used in cultural contexts, while Iran is the officially adopted term in state contexts. Due to the conflict between Iran and Israel, many people have turned their attention to understanding Iran from a biblical perspective, seeking to comprehend what ancient prophecies and texts of the Old Testament say about the country. It is worth mentioning that the book of Daniel addresses the prince of the kingdom of Persia in its scriptures. For those unfamiliar with the identity of the prince mentioned in the book of Daniel, it is important to understand that it is not simply a human ruler of Persian origin. The prince of the kingdom of Persia essentially refers to a spiritual entity, some even label it as a fallen angel, present in that region of Iran. This evil entity manifested its opposition to both Daniel and the angel Gabriel, interfering with the flow of prophetic revelations that Daniel sought through fasting and prayer. This demonic entity provoked a spiritual clash against the angel Gabriel, preventing him from delivering the prophetic information that Daniel sought during his period of fasting and prayer. It was only when Archangel Michael intervened to assist Gabriel that this entity was finally restrained. Many discussions are emerging about Gog and Magog and how the current conflict between Persia, Iran, and Israel can be interpreted as a harbinger of this event. For those unfamiliar, Gog and Magog are figures from an ancient war described in ancient texts that is predicted to occur in the future, involving various nations and descendants of the sons of Noah, representing the current nations of the world. In the context of this war, Iran, or ancient Persia, is mentioned in the book of Ezekiel, chapter 38. Despite the current conflict between Iran and Israel, it is interesting to note that in antiquity, in the Bible, the relationship between them was not always one of confrontation. In fact, Persia played a significant role in the history of Israel, with figures like Cyrus being highlighted as instruments of divine help for the people of God, as recorded in the books of Isaiah, Esther, and Nehemiah. Cyrus too, known as Cyrus the Great, who was the founder of the Persian Empire. He is mentioned in some books of the Old Testament, mainly in the books of Ezra and Isaiah. In Ezra, Cyrus is praised for allowing the Jews to return to Jerusalem after the exile in Babylon. Ezra chapter 1 recounts how Cyrus issued a decree allowing the Jews to return and rebuild the Temple of Jerusalem, which had been destroyed by the Babylonians. Cyrus is portrayed as an instrument in the hands of God to fulfill his plans. In Isaiah, Cyrus is mentioned in a prophetic context. The prophet Isaiah refers to Cyrus as the Lord's anointed, a leader chosen by God to carry out his will, even though Cyrus was not a follower of the God of Israel. In summary, Cyrus in the Bible is portrayed as a ruler who played a crucial role in the history of the Jewish people, allowing them to return to Jerusalem and rebuild the temple, and also as a figure used by God to fulfill his purposes. The ancient Persian kings, such as Darius, Xerxes, and Cyrus, are mentioned and even prophesied in the sacred scriptures. Share in the comments if you were already aware of this historical connection between Iran and the Bible, and if you have suggestions for other videos on our channel. May God bless you, and see you soon.